Hey, it's Matthew. Let's talk about something small that can make a big difference. Having a hobby, not a job, not a side hustle, not something to impress others with. Just a hobby. Something you do because it makes you feel alive. You don't have to be amazing at it. You don't even have to do it every day. But having one thing in your life that sparks curiosity, joy, or creativity, that can change everything. Because hobbies remind you that life isn't only about productivity, it's about play, exploration, expression. And here's the thing, when you don't have a hobby, life can start to feel like a loop. Wake up, work, scroll, sleep, repeat. But when you have a hobby, you create space for you to exist outside of your responsibilities. The brain needs fuel. Here's what's fascinating. Our brains actually need play. Just like your body needs movement, your mind needs stimulation. When you learn something new, whether it's painting, dancing, gardening, coding, or building something, your brain builds new connections. That keeps your mind flexible, resilient, and sharp. Studies show that people who keep their minds engaged through hobbies are less likely to develop dementia in older age. Hobbies are literally fuel for your brain's long-term health. Even small hobbies, like doing puzzles, learning a few phrases in another language, or playing music casually, can create major benefits for your memory and focus. It's not about becoming a professional. It's about staying curious. That curiosity protects your mind. You deserve fun. Sometimes we think hobbies are a luxury, like, I don't have time for that, or I'm not creative, or it's too late to start. But here's the truth. Having a hobby isn't selfish. It's a form of self-respect. It's saying, I matter enough to enjoy something just for me. When you give yourself permission to try something new, even badly, you grow. You become braver. And over time, that hobby becomes part of your identity. Even if you only do it once a week, even if you're not very good, even if no one else gets it, you're allowed to have joy that isn't productive. You're allowed to just play. Hobbies lead to more hobbies. Something magical happens when you start a hobby. You unlock a new part of yourself. And once that door opens, other doors start appearing. You start painting, and suddenly you want to try photography. You start hiking, and now you're curious about birdwatching. You learn a few chords on the guitar, and find yourself writing songs at 2 a.m. Hobbies awaken a part of you that was sleeping. And the best part? You don't have to choose just one. Life is not a test. You're not being graded. You're just exploring. Ideas for hobbies to try. If you're not sure where to start, here are a few ideas. You might start with something simple, like painting or drawing, even digitally on a tablet, just to let your mind wander. Maybe that leads you to journaling or writing poetry, expressing what you feel in words. One day, you pick up a camera and dive into learning photography, capturing light and shadows in ways you never noticed before. That interest might grow into making short films, where your stories come to life. Or maybe you shift focus and find joy in cooking new recipes or baking bread, filling your home with warm, familiar smells. When no one's watching, you might turn up the music and dance at home, moving freely without judgment. You try playing an instrument, just a few notes at first, then maybe a song. Hands-on hobbies like woodworking or crafts could follow, giving shape to your ideas. Or you spend more time outside, birdwatching in a quiet park, or hiking through local trails. You take a class in yoga or tai chi, learning to breathe and move with intention. The feel of clay might tempt you into pottery or sculpting, shaping something real with your own hands. You might begin growing herbs or flowers, watching something bloom under your care. You find meaning in collecting something unique, things only you would notice and appreciate. Or maybe you're drawn to calligraphy, practicing each stroke with patience and grace. Learning a language becomes your new curiosity, a way to connect with new worlds. In the evenings, you relax with sewing or knitting, your hands steady, your thoughts calm. Then suddenly, you find yourself designing your own game or comic, a blend of imagination and structure. And when you're in a certain mood, you create playlists that feel like soundtracks to different versions of yourself, each one specific, meaningful, and yours. And remember, you don't have to share it online. You don't have to monetize it. You don't even have to be good at it. Just enjoy it. Hobbies connect you to others. Here's something beautiful. Hobbies are not only about you, they also connect you to other people. When you try something new, you open yourself up to new conversations. You might find a community of people who love the same thing. Or maybe your hobby just becomes a great story, something to share with a friend or a date. Even if you do it alone, it gives you something to talk about, something that reminds others you're more than just your job or your routines. And sometimes, that little spark of joy, that shared passion or curiosity, becomes the beginning of a friendship. Vocabulary recap. Hobby. An activity you do for enjoyment in your free time. Example. Her hobby is making short films with her phone. Resilient. Able to recover quickly from difficulties. Example. People who have creative hobbies tend to be more resilient during tough times. Curious. Eager to learn or explore new things. Example. He's always been curious about photography and finally took a class. Stimulate. To activate or excite the brain or body. Example. Reading stimulates your imagination and creativity. Dementia. A condition where memory and thinking abilities slowly decline. Example. Staying mentally active can help reduce the risk of dementia. Play. To do something fun and not work-related. Example. Adults also need play to stay happy and healthy. Identity. Your sense of who you are. Example. Her love for journaling became part of her identity. Mindfulness. Being fully present and aware in the moment. Example. Pottery helps her practice mindfulness and focus. Self-expression. Showing your thoughts or feelings creatively. Example. Painting gives him a way to practice self-expression. Fulfillment. A feeling of satisfaction or happiness. Example. Learning the guitar brought him a deep sense of fulfillment. Motivation. The reason or desire to do something. Example. Picking up a new hobby gave her motivation to wake up early. Socialize. To meet and spend time with other people. Example. Hiking gave him a way to socialize with people outside of work. Routine. A regular way of doing things. Example. Breaking out of her routine helped her discover new interests. Outlet. A way to express emotions or energy. Example. Writing poetry became an emotional outlet during hard times. Explore. To try or discover something new. Example. He started yoga to explore both physical and mental balance. If you've been feeling stuck in a loop, same routine, same tired feelings, maybe it's time to pick up something new. Something just for you. Your life doesn't have to be all about work or stress. You're allowed to make space for fun, for growth, for joy. Even one hobby can change how your brain feels. And from there, who knows what doors will open? If this episode gave you ideas, let me know in the comments. Or better, tell me what hobby you want to try next. And don't forget to subscribe for more English, more conversations, and more ways to connect with yourself in your new language and your real life.